One of the modes we haven't tested yet on the Staaker was hover mode. So we went to a small field, launched the drone. Of course, it starts off in compass mode, so we fly it out to our position, which is somewhere near the center of this small field. And the concept is we'll be driving snowmobiles underneath of it with the tracker. Once in position, I set it over to hover mode, and I make any final adjustments to the height. This first round is roughly about 30 feet off the ground. You can see the shadow on the snow of the Staaker near the barrel with the yellow stripe. I get on the snowmobile and get ready to test the hover mode, while the fellow in the orange jacket is going to launch a GoPro Karma to follow the Staaker and me around. For this experiment, we're running anywhere between 5 and 15 miles an hour. In a couple cases, we might reach 20 miles an hour. Anytime there's a cutaway with a different camera, I'll show the Staaker's point of view in the lower left-hand screen. In hover mode, the drone stays in the same position, but will rotate, and the gimbal will rotate to show the target. In this case, there'll be times we're farther away from it, and then other times we'll be passing directly underneath of it. In this video, you may see two drone shadows on the ground. One is the Staaker, the other is the GoPro Karma flying around. And there you can see the GoPro in the screen. So here we are directly underneath the camera, and it does a quick rotate. Here I switch snowmobiles over to the red one. This one can make a little bit tighter corners, it's a slightly shorter track. And we'll see how that does. I'll do a little bit more of a figure eight in this exercise, going to the perimeter of the field, coming back through the center, and then continuing the figure eight. The drone does a pretty good job of keeping me in the frame. I pull over to our starting point here, and I'm going to lower the drone to about 4 feet off the ground. You can see the shadow. I want to test to see how the hover mode works as if it were a tripod. So the video you're seeing here now is actually around shoulder height, and I'll approach it directly, making sure not to hit it, and see how it does in the swing around. And there we go. Again, I'll approach it really close and watch the swing around. So here we see a tripod effect. Since the drone was so close to the ground, I decided to lower it right to the ground without the landing feature and push the emergency stop button to stop the props. In hindsight, I don't think I'll do that again, because what happens is the gimbal continues to be active, and if it's sitting on the snow, it's going to try to move a little bit, and I'd rather not put the stress on it. I can see hover mode being very useful for a particular shot. You set it up for, say, a radical corner or a jump, a wave, or perhaps even something as extreme as bungee jumping. It's a useful mode to have, and we found it to be working well with this drone.